Imagine with me a unique moment in human history, a moment our planet had never witnessed before. The atmosphere over Makkah al-Mukarramah was extremely clear, and the moon engulfed the valleys with its silvery light, while deep silence loomed over the houses and paths. And in a sudden slip of time, an event beyond imagination occurred. Immense celestial body that has been swimming in space since eternity split into two halves before the eyes of the people. This event was not an illusion or a myth, but a definitive truth documented by the Creator in His precise revelation. Throughout the history of Islam, various miracles were manifested, but the incident of the splitting of the moon remains among the clearest and greatest, as it did not occur in secret, but was witnessed by a large crowd of the people of Mecca. The Prophet was conveying the message of heaven, the call to monotheism and guidance, but the leaders of Quraish met his call with rejection and denial and demanded seeing a major cosmic sign to recognize his truthfulness. So the Almighty responded to his prophet and sent a proof that bewildered minds and dazzled eyes: the sights. In that era, Mecca held the position of sovereignty and trade in the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, and the holy Kaaba stood in its center, surrounded by the idols worshipped by the people. Despite the prophet's upbringing in that environment, his sound fitra kept him away from idol worship since his early childhood. And upon reaching 40, the revelation descended upon him in the seclusion of Hira Cave, inaugurating the greatest message existence has ever known. The prophet began calling people secretly at first, then proclaimed the truth atop Mount Al-Safa, so Quraish became arrogant and described him as a magician who seeks. Quraish acted arrogantly and described him as a sorcerer who seeks to separate a man from his fathers. With the passage of days, the persecution of Quraysh against the weak Muslims intensified, using torture and imprisonment, and the unjust siege. We mention here the suffering of Bilal al-Habashi, may Allah be pleased with him, under the burning sun of Mecca, while the Prophet was urging his followers to be patient, emphasizing that the victory of Allah is inevitably coming. In the midst of this conflict, the leaders of polytheism sought to embarrass the Prophet, so Abu Jahl, Abdullah bin Abi Umayyah, and others demanded of him to split the moon into two halves if he was truthful in his prophethood. It was the night of the 14th or 15th, and the moon was in its finest full form, covering the sky with its light. The Prophet turned to his Lord with a humble heart, and while the people were anticipating, the moon separated into two distinct masses. One settled over Mount Abi Qubais, and the other vanished behind Mount Hira. It was an awe-inspiring sight that tongue fails to describe, and the entire universe was observing the power of the Creator Almighty. And the Prophet called out to them, "Bear witness, bear witness." Those present were stunned by what they saw, and some thought they were in a dream, while the believers prostrated to Allah with flowing tears of gratitude for this sign. After the proof was manifested, the moon reunited and returned as it was. And yet, the stubbornness of Quraysh continued, and they claimed it was continuous magic that affected their eyesight. When they asked the caravans arriving from afar about what they saw on that night, everyone confirmed their sighting of the phenomenon of the splitting of the moon, so the disbeliever was confounded. The Holy Quran immortalized this scene in a surah named after it, where the Almighty said, "The hour has drawn near, and the moon has split." And if they see a sign, they turn away and say, "Continuous magic," while the first verse confirms the occurrence of the splitting as a historical fact. The second reveals the denial of those who see the truth, then turn their backs on it. The noble companions narrated the details of this event accurately. Ibn Masud, may Allah be pleased with him, confirmed his sighting of Mount Hira between the two halves of the moon. Anas bin al-Malik and Hudhayfa bin al-Yaman, may Allah be pleased with them, also conveyed similar testimonies, which are mutawatir narrations, documented by the most authentic books like Al-Bukhari and Muslim. If some question the astronomical possibility of this occurring, the answer lies in the power of the Creator who brought the universe into existence from nothing as He disposes of its laws. However, He wills. Interestingly, modern space research has detected mysterious geological rifts and faults on the surface of the Moon, which some researchers suggest might be scars of an ancient fracture that affected this celestial body. The lesson is not in the splitting of the Moon alone, but in the stances of humans. For polytheists saw the sign with their own eyes, yet their hearts were locked. For guidance is a success from Allah that requires a heart searching for truth. Imagine those hours, the silence of the night and the shock of the vision, the moon splitting just as a ripe fruit splits, the screams of children and the astonishment of men who were frozen in their places. Suddenly, the voice of the Chosen One rose in the parts of the valley, bear witness that Allah is powerful over all things. This event was not just a passing incident, but carried eternal messages for humanity. Absolute divine power. That is not limited by incapacity on earth nor in heaven. The approach of the true promise for every moment brings us closer to the promised day of resurrection. The clarity of the proof for the truth is bright, hidden only from those who. The essence of faith is total spiritual and heart submission to the Creator. In Mecca, the moon split and people divided between a supporter of the truth and a denier of it. And every man had what he chose for himself. Today, as cosmic signs fill the horizons, we must ask ourselves, will we be among those who opened their hearts to faith? Hold fast to the guidance of your religion and know that every sign is a reminder to return to Allah. And we have certainly eased the Quran for remembrance, so is there any who will remember? Do not forget to interact with the channel by subscribing and liking, to follow more of the influential historical and Quranic stories, if Allah wills. The absolute clarity of the truth shines brightly through this deep cosmic prophecy for generations to come. Thus, the signs remain eternal witnesses to the power of the Almighty Creator in the heavens and the earth.